Oh man, super bright out here. Okay, so today is Thursday, the 17th of September 2020, and today I've booked myself in for something that I've wanted to do for a long time now, and that's go for what's known as a flotation tank session, although I first heard of it being called a sensory deprivation tank. Now basically, if you haven't heard of this before, the concept is that you get inside a little pod, a little bubble, a little tank, and it's filled with really heavy, dense salt water, and you just float. You float for about an hour, you're totally weightless. The water is heated to body temperature, so you can't feel the water around you. It's pitch black and you have earplugs in, and the room is completely silent. So in essence, every single one of your senses is completely taken away from you. You have absolutely no input into your body whatsoever. Now, I read about this for the first time a few years ago actually, and I thought it was a really cool experience. And a couple of weeks ago, an advert popped up on my Instagram actually for a place that's opened up just outside of Edinburgh to do it. Only about a 10-minute drive from where I live. So I'm about to head there now. I'm really excited to see what it's all about and basically just to see if it's any good. Let's go. Oh my goodness, it's beautiful out here. It's such an amazing scenery. It's almost peaceful before you even get here. Let's see what it's like.
My name's Nick. I am the owner of Float Philosophy. We are a float studio, so we've got 3 state-of-the-art float tanks, and we've also just renovated the upstairs of our building into a studio. We're going to run yoga classes, movement classes, meditation classes, things like that. I had heard about flotation therapy initially from like an athletic background, so I follow a lot of the American sports, like UFC, NFL, and a lot of the sort of players out there in sports teams actually have float tanks installed within their training facilities. So initially I knew that it's more like a physical recovery tool, but then a couple of years ago Men's Health released an article talking about the mental health side of things, and there's been a lot of clinical research lately showing it's a great way to lower levels of stress, anxiety, even using it to treat things like PTSD now. So once I heard about that I was like, wait a minute, I know how good it is from a physical point of view, all these high level athletes are using it. Take the mental health into it, it's just like match made in heaven basically. Yeah. A lot of people say it's like floating in space. One of the funnier ones we often get, well, I find it quite funny, a lot of people compare it to being back in the womb. For flotation therapy in general, I like it to be taken a lot more serious from the medical side of things. So I know some countries such as Sweden, they can actually now, doctors can now prescribe this to deal with chronic pain ailments, mental health issues, things of that nature. So I would love us to adopt that approach here. It's just more of a natural way to relieve stress, pain and anxiety.
So that's me inside the room here with the pod, which is absolutely massive, way bigger than I expected it to be. I guess it's designed to accommodate big athletes, kind of 7-8 foot people, so it's huge, there's so much space, and actually that's just starting to fill up with salt water now, which is amazing. So you can see it gets changed after every single use. I'm going to jump straight in, wish me luck. So that's me just finished my float session. Honestly, it was amazing. The time went by so quickly. But I'll tell you a bit more about it once I've had a shower and I've got dressed, because I am stark bollock naked. So I've just come out of my first ever float experience here at Float Philosophy in Edinburgh, and I've got to say that's one of the most incredible things that I've ever done. It was nothing short of amazing, weird, trippy, relaxing, scary at points as well. So the whole centre is actually based just around relaxation. I felt relaxed from the moment that I went through the door. There's nice music playing, just the vibe is so chilled out and so relaxed that I almost felt like I'd had a sort of meditation relaxation session before I even got in the pod. Getting in the pod is a weird experience. You are totally weightless. There's only about this much water in the bottom of it, and the lights are on to start with. There's some soothing music playing. But as soon as you take your feet off the ground and you just start to float, it's like nothing I've ever experienced before. I think the whole world just kind of seems to blur out for a little bit. I'd say for the first 10 minutes I was maybe a little bit like nervous and even maybe a little bit like claustrophobic and kind of scared and a little bit jittery and panicky, but I guess I've never done it before, and I'm floating in a big egg bubble thing. It's like something out of the future, or like Minority Report, or where like clones are stored to be made. After the first 10 minutes, the music dies down and the lights shut off completely, and then you are in total sensory deprivation, which for me was both the most amazing part and the scariest part at the same time. To start with, I found it a struggle to concentrate, to kind of properly get in a kind of meditative state. I was sort of playing in the water as if I was floating. I was kind of moving around and trying to find a good position for my arms and legs to be in. But I definitely went through phases. I went through phases of having fun and kind of actually enjoying it. And then the next minute I'd be like super chilled and just not thinking of anything. And then the next minute my mind's going to all sorts of crazy, ridiculous places. And I even kind of hallucinated at times. At one point I saw Maleficent, as in like Disney Maleficent, coming at me and trying to eat my head. At one point I had a really weird out-of-body experience where I could literally see my own face right in front of my eyes. Now remember, it's pitch dark in there, so whether your eyes are open or closed, you almost can't tell the difference. There was really definite points for me where I felt really powerful. I felt really strong and defined, like I could do anything. And there's other points I felt really kind of fragile and quite vulnerable actually as well. It also did not feel like an hour. It felt closer to about 10 or 15 minutes total. Alright troops, thank you so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, do remember to hit that like button. And if you like stuff like this, if you want other future videos like this, maybe consider hitting that big red subscribe button for me too. Thanks again, stay awesome, and I'll see you in the next one.